are prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down and on my knees and I may fall as I'm so close to the edge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. It is week 3 of the Prem Predictions Show, and if we have had any of the drama that we have had in the last 2 match weeks, I'm pretty sure match week 3 will be very, very impressive as well. Get your predictions down in the comments section as well. Also, the games are going across the bottom of your screen. So let us go back to how we did last week. I managed to get 9 points, and there was only 9 games, so I'm very happy with that. I got 7 of the 9 outcomes. I got 1 perfect score, and that was Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 1. So very, very well done to myself for getting that one. Top scorer in the comments, also with 9 points, once again was Nathan Morgan. Yes, Nathan Morgan, 9 points. So very, very well done to you, Nathan, as well. And all 20 teams play this weekend as well. So going to be very, very impressive to see what will happen anyway. But let us kick off with Chelsea against Luton Town. Yeah, Chelsea 3-1 defeat to West Ham. I have to say, watching that game, you would never have thought Chelsea would lose that game. First half, they were all over West Ham. Should have been ahead. They got the goal from Chukwuemeka, who's obviously injured now, which is really, really bad news for him. Enzo Fernandez missed the penalty. Yes, it probably should have been retaken as well. And if you were a Liverpool supporter like I am, I'm pretty sure you'd probably be laughing at the fact that Caicedo comes on and concedes a penalty to give West Ham a 3-1 win. And look, that is what it is. And as well, Mudryk needs to just he needs a goal. He needs a goal to get his confidence up. I think it's the safest thing to say there. But yeah, Chelsea back at home. I was very surprised because, the way they played against Liverpool, they were very, very good. But against West Ham, just something wasn't there for them. Luton Town obviously have had an extra week to prepare for this game. They didn't play in the last game because obviously their ground, Kenilworth Road, still not quite ready. But we're hopeful that we can get it ready for next Friday against West Ham as well. So that should be very, very interesting to say the very, very least. But it is a Stamford Bridge. Most people would say usually it'd be a home banker. However, Chelsea have just won 5 out of the last 31 Premier League games on show. So this is a really, really interesting game to say the very, very least. Poch wants to obviously get off to a winning start as well. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Luton Town 0. But I've got to say, this would not surprise me if Luton Town managed to get something. It would not surprise me in the slightest. I'm going Chelsea 2, Luton 0. And now we have Bournemouth against Tottenham on the South Coast at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 3-1 defeat against Liverpool, but you have to give them credit. I thought Bournemouth were very, very good against Liverpool. You've obviously got Antoine Semenyo, who obviously got the goal as well. But I like the way Areola has his sides sort of set up, very, very attacking. I thought, okay, when Bournemouth attacked Liverpool, I thought, okay, this is going to probably be a game where it'll fall into Liverpool's hands. But you've got to say, Bournemouth played really, really well. And on another day, you would probably have said that they might have got something out of that game. They might have got something out of that game. But look, I've no qualms about Bournemouth being anywhere near that relegation zone. I have no thinking that they will be anywhere near that, because I think they've got a good manager now. And they'll obviously want to, try and win this game as well. Tottenham, 2-0 win against Manchester United. What I will say, I thought Tottenham were excellent. I thought they were very, very, very good. And I think as well, you have to say, obviously you had Udogi, I think that's how you say it, on the left back. You obviously had Pedro Porro. I think those two gave Manchester United a hell of a problem. Going down those flanks, they played really, really well. Sarr in midfield was excellent as well. Very, very good performance from Spurs. Maddison, I thought, was one of the players of the match. He completely controlled that midfield. Again, Tottenham found it so easy to get through Manchester United's midfield. We'll obviously come on to Manchester United very, very shortly. But Tottenham, that's a very, very good win. That is a very, very good win. It's Ange Postecoglou's first win as well. And I think if Tottenham keep playing like that, then they will be about the top four picture, I would say, to say the very, very least. How do I see this one going? I'm going to give Tottenham the win here. I'm going to give Tottenham the win. I think if Maddison is fit and ready to go, I think he should be well prepared for this. Maybe we might see the new Argentine boy that Tottenham have signed as well, because I've got to be honest, I'm still not a big fan of Richarlison. I just don't think he does it at Tottenham. Anyway, but you still got Son, you still got Kulusevski and Maddison and Sarr from the midfield. I'm going to give Tottenham a very, very narrow 2-1 win in this game. I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 2. So that was 12:30, and obviously Chelsea against Luton Town is Friday. We'll go on to the 3 o'clockers, and we have a London derby with Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal 1-0 win over Crystal Palace. I think they rode their luck, it has to be said. They did ride their luck a little bit. I've got to say something that I think it was a penalty. However, I do think Partey has fouled Guehi. I think he has fouled Guehi in the build up there. So how VAR didn't, I think they had to look at it, and they probably saw that there wasn't too much in it. So you can understand why, but I think Palace are a little bit hard done by as well. But Odegaard scored to make it 1-0. I will say though, I think the Tomiyasu red card is an absolute disgrace. I did not think that was a red card. The second yellow card, he's hardly touched at you. He is hardly touched at you. Yes, people can say he's touched him on the side of the leg, but that isn't enough to get you to go down. That is not enough to get you to go down like that. So I think Tomiyasu was very, very unlucky to get a red card, and obviously Arsenal can't appeal it because obviously it's 2 yellow cards, so he'll obviously be banned for this game. I mean, could potentially Palace have had a penalty? I mean, I'll get on to Crystal Palace in a wee moment, but I think Arsenal got a wee with one. But big win under the lights of Selhurst Park. We always know that it's a very tricky place to go to. Big win for the Gunners. Fulham 3-0 defeat to Brentford. Tim Ream as well, straight red card, or second yellow card, I think it was, as well in that game. Mitrovic is gone. Mitrovic has gone. So, who are they bringing in? That's the main thing. They were potentially going to bring Callum Hudson-Odoi in. That has gone down very, very quietly. Potentially Demarai Gray. That's gone down very, very quietly. So, the strikers that they've got really is Carlos Vinicius and Raul Jimenez. Now, Raul Jimenez is a very, very good striker, but his goals have really dried up. His goals have really, really dried up. So I'm really, really hoping that Fulham do bring in a striker, because they could potentially be down there. They could potentially be down there. But How do I see this one going? I can only see an Arsenal winning this one. I really, really can. I think Fulham will give a good account of themselves, but I just think Arsenal, that firepower, I think they will be way too good for Fulham in this one. Going to go for a 3-1 win to the Gunners, and that would be 3 out of 3. And we move on to another London derby, Brentford against Crystal Palace. Wow, Brentford. Vissa and Mbeumo, that two partnership is looking very, very good. Those two are just on absolute fire at the moment. Vissa, I thought was one with the player of the match for Brentford in that game. Thought he was absolutely fantastic. Yes, I know Mbeumo got 2 goals, but it's the attacking play of Vissa that got them through. And look, Brentford, fantastic win. And I did say, look, they might have a bit of a drop off, but there's no way they're going to be in any relegation trouble. You know, if Vissa and Mbeumo can get the goals, then Brentford are going to be very, very secure, easily. Crystal Palace, they need a striker. They need a striker. Edwards, I don't think he's quite at it yet. Edward, I think he will probably, come good at some point. And Mateta, is he going to go? It remains to be seen. Emmanuel Dennis is a potential target for Crystal Palace, but as soon as Michael Olise comes back, it'll definitely take the pressure off Eze, because I think Palace are looking at passing the ball to Eze and expecting something to happen, and unfortunately, it just seems to be like they're just focusing on that a little bit too much. But look, it's going to be a very, very interesting game, this one, at the GTEC Community Stadium. But I'm going to give Brentford the win. I think if Vissa and Mbeumo are still on fire, I think they will get the win here. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Bees in this one. Wow. The next game, I mean, is it too early to call it a 6-pointer? I mean, Everton against Wolves. Everton were absolutely rancid. Rubbish against Aston Villa. Defensively, they're not at it. Why Sean Dyche keeps persisting with Michael Keane, I don't know. Michael Keane is not a very good defender. He was good at Burnley. But it just goes to show when you're clearly out of your depth in an Everton side, just stop playing them. Calvert-Lewin injured again, which is really, really sad to see. How soon is Yusuf Chermitri away? I'm not so sure. It remain to be seen, really, because I think the way Everton played against Aston Villa was very, very poor, to say the very, very least. But this is one of those games where they have to pick up points. They have picked most of their points up at Goodison Park, and they're going to have to if they want to stay out of that relegation zone, because at the moment they are rooted at the bottom of the league, but it's still very, very early on. It is only week 3, of course. Wolves played well against Manchester United, but were absolutely dominated by Brighton. Brighton were excellent, I've got to say. Brighton were very, very good. And Wolves had no match for them. No match for them at all. They did get a consolation in the end. But this is one of those games where probably people would probably expect Everton to potentially get a result here. It could end in a draw. It could easily be a 0-0 result. But Wolves in their last away performance at Old Trafford really, really impressed me. If they can get that attacking prowess going again, I do think Wolves can go away with a narrow win. If they don't, I think Everton could potentially. But for me, I'm sticking with this. I'm going to go Wolves to get a 1-0 win, because I ain't convinced Everton have got any goal scorers in their team at the moment. I just not convinced. And as soon as potentially Che Adams comes in, that would be very, very good, because they badly need a goal scorer. And they just need to defend better, is the other thing as well. But I'm going Everton 0, Wolves 1. Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. Manchester United, what can you describe their performance? First half, very, very good. They were the better team against Tottenham in that first half. Bruno Fernandes missed an absolute sitter. Was it a penalty? It's it's really difficult. It's really difficult when you come to like handballs. For me, I think Romero was a bit fortunate. I honestly do. I think the shot is going on target. And I do think that he got a bit lucky. I think he did get a wee bit lucky. But again, I was surprised Ten Hag played the same team. His stubbornness is going to be the end of him, if I'm being honest, at Manchester United. Why you keep persisting with Marcus Rashford down the middle? We can clearly see it doesn't work. We can clearly see Garnacho isn't ready to start games. We can clearly see that Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Mason Mount midfield doesn't work. But he doesn't. Now, he's obviously probably putting out a message to obviously the hierarchy of Manchester United to get players in. But at this moment in time, I think they're going to have to persist. I mean, Rasmus Højlund is in the squad for this weekend. Will he start? Put the pressure off Rashford for a bit? We'll wait and see. We will definitely wait and see. Nottingham Forest, very good win against Sheffield United. Taiwo Wuni again scored, which is very, very good. And Chris Wood getting the winning goal as well in a 2-1 win. Last season, Manchester United beat Nottingham Forest by an aggregate of 9-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester United. I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester United. I think they should have enough to beat Nottingham Forest, to say the very, very least. Now we move on to the Saturday tea time game. What a game. This is going to be Brighton and Hove Albion against West Ham. Both of these sides at the back of really impressive victories. Brighton going away to Wolves and winning 4-1. And again, Enciso, Solly March, Mitoma, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Look, Brighton have already replaced. In my honest opinion, I think they've done really, really well to, replace Alexis McAllister. You've obviously got and Cecil. What a player he is, by the way. What a player. He's going to be very, very good as well. I think Brighton are going to have a very, very good season. Look, the way they played against Wolves was amazing, and some of the goals that they scored, brilliant pass and play, West Ham, again, very, very good performance against Chelsea, and against 10 men as well. Aguerd got his second yellow card of the game, but they've added really, really well, in my opinion. James Ward-Prowse, very, very good signing. Really, really impressed with that signing. Edson Alvarez, fantastic signing again from Ajax. West Ham can add a couple of more players into there. You might imagine a Mohamed Kudus in this team. Be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing. West Ham have never beaten Brighton in the Premier League. So something has definitely got to give in this one. But I'm going to go for a Brighton win. I just think Brighton at this moment in time are playing some fantastic football. And look, West Ham, very, very good win against Chelsea. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brighton in this one. So we'll move on to the Sunday games. There's 3 games on Sunday this week. And one of the ones is Burnley against Aston Villa. Yeah, Burnley. What have they done recently? Well, they had a closed doors friendly against Dundee United and beat them 6-0. So that was very, very good. Obviously, to get their their fitness up to scratch as well. But obviously, the last time we did obviously watch them against Manchester City, and you're not going to play Manchester City every week. Let me just say that you're definitely not. But Burnley will definitely want to try and get off the mark as well. And look, Aston Villa is a very, very interesting game, because Aston Villa, by the time we're recording, they will have probably played Hibernian at Easter Road on I think it's Wednesday. Next Wednesday that they play. So again, they'll obviously want to get that job done Easter Road, and then obviously the return leg against Hibs at Villa Park as well. But I've got to say, passing movement from Bailey, McGinn, Diaby, even Watkins. Obviously Watkins did win a penalty for Aston Villa against Everton, didn't he? So I will say that I think this is going to be an away win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Aston Villa. I just think Villa are on absolute fire at the moment, and the way that they played against Everton, if they do that, I think Burnley will definitely defend a lot better than Everton did. Let me just say that. But yeah, going to go for a 2-0 win to Aston Villa in that one. We move on to Sheffield United against Manchester City. Sheffield United on the back of a 2-1 defeat to Nottingham Forest. They were unlucky. They were unlucky to lose that. I've got to say, though, the signing of Gustavo Hamer, we've seen him in the Championship for Coventry. He was very, very good in that game. A lovely, lovely goal as well. Curled into the top corner, didn't he, Gustavo Hamer? And I think he will be a very good signing for Sheffield United. We've obviously seen as well, Bramall Lane is a very tricky place to go to, especially. But I think this game will not determine their season, Sheffield United. It will be the games in and amongst the bottom teams. Anyway, but they are coming up against the champions, Manchester City, who, on another day, you probably have said that 1-0 against Newcastle United would be a bit disappointing. But I think with the calibre of what Newcastle have got, it's an excellent win because Newcastle defended for their lives in that game. If Haaland had been a bit more clinical, then I think it's probably 2-3, 4-0 potentially. But however, it's a fantastic finish, wasn't it, as well? Big news from Manchester City, though. It looks like Jeremy Doku is coming in from Rennes. So that'll be a very, very good signing for them as well. I think that's the Riyad Mahrez replacement, if I seem to remember, as well. Pep Guardiola will not be on the touchline for the next 2 games. He's recovering from back surgery in Barcelona. So obviously, get well soon to obviously Pep. But I think Manchester City will be very, very comfortable winners in this one. I can only really see them go to Bramall Lane and come away with a 3-0 win. I think it'll be a very, very comfortable 3-0 win to Manchester City in that one. And you always save the best till last. 4:30 on Sunday, Newcastle United against Liverpool. I'm going to give Newcastle a lot of credit against Manchester City because defensively, I thought they were very, very good. Schär, Botman, putting themselves into blocks, putting themselves into attacks. I think Anthony Gordon's a little bit fortunate. I think he was a little bit fortunate on Kyle Walker. I think we've seen red cards this weekend. We've seen red cards last weekend as well. It was a very, very. I think it was the right time to take him off to obviously bring Harvey Barnes on. But I've got to say, I thought Newcastle played very, very well against Manchester City and were unlucky to probably the better team won on the day. But again, you go to the Etihad, you only lose 1-0. I think that's a very, very good result for Newcastle. They have added Lewis Hall today as well. Lewis Hall has signed on a loan deal with an obligation to buy at the end of the loan. So again, another sort of a future star coming into Newcastle. I think Lewis Hall's a very good signing. He'll give competition for obviously Dan Burn. I mean, Newcastle's business is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that. Like Harvey Barnes, Sandro Tonali, who else? Tino Livramento, and obviously Lewis Hall. That's adding more strength and depth to Newcastle. So very, very impressed with Newcastle as well. Liverpool 3-1 win over Bournemouth. Please don't start like we did against Newcastle, because if we do, we'll get picked off. Bournemouth played very well. They played very, very well. Will Liverpool get the sending off of Alexis McAllister rescinded? I really hope so, because I think it's still an absolute joke of a red card. I've kept to my thinking that it was never a red card, and I still stand by that. I think it's a ridiculous decision. To send him off. But Diaz is starting to get in the goals as well. Salah is now Liverpool's fifth highest scoring player with 187 goals as well. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic to see. And then obviously Diogo Jota as well. But the performance of Dominic Soboslai as well. He was magnificent against Bournemouth, and we're hoping that he can get even better. And obviously Wataru Endo made his debut as well. This is going to be a very good game on Sunday. Look, Liverpool can't defend at this moment in time, but attacking we look really, really good. Newcastle can score goals for fun. This is going to be one of those games where it will kind of remind me of the game where Liverpool had to win to sort of keep up the chase from Manchester City. And I'm actually going to go for a similar scoreline to that. I think, if I'm being honest, this is a very, very tricky place to go to. Liverpool have got a good record against Newcastle. They have got a very, very good record against Newcastle. I'm going to go for a goal fest here. I'm going to go Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3. I just think Liverpool's attacking play, I think, could potentially be enough to get them through. Defensively, I'm not convinced with us. And I've said that for a number of weeks now, but I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. So there we are, folks. There are my predictions for the 23-24 match week 3 of the Prem Prediction Show. Let me give you a recap of my predictions, and we will see what will happen in these games. So I've gone for Chelsea 2, Luton Town 0, Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 2, Arsenal 3, Fulham 1, Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 1, Everton 0, Wolves 1, Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, West Ham 1, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2, Sheffield United 0, Manchester City 3, and Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please get your predictions down in the comments, and like Nathan Morgan for the second week in succession, you will get a shout out in the next video. We have one more match week next week, and then it is the international break. Yes, absolutely, as well. But thank you very much to everyone who has watched as well. And as I do say, please join in the fun. Please join in the fun at home. I really do appreciate everyone who predicts, and I obviously count them up as well. There will be a league table at the end of the month as well. To tell people how people are getting on as well. But thank you very much for watching, and enjoy a very, very packed football weekend. And from myself, I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lion.